This is what American media looks like today. The wealthiest person in the world, Elon Musk, owns X. The second wealthiest person in the world, Larry Ellison, owns Paramount, including CBS, and will possibly now be taking over TikTok and CNN. Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post and Twitch. Mark Zuckerberg owns both Facebook and Instagram. In fact, the top 5 richest men in the world are all media owners or executives. When we talk about oligarchy in America, it's not only income and wealth inequality, it's control over the media and what the American people are able to see, hear, and read. That's my guy.
Hey man, Bernie, when I saw that, I was like, there you go. That's what I'm talking about, Bernie. He dropped on us. So take us. So Bernie Sanders is basically talking about this vacuum now that these billionaires have acquired all these platforms. The first thing that I want to talk about is that we saw this coming.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that the Democratic Party and those that have wealth on that are either left-leaning or center-leaning did not do anything to counteract this.
100%. You know, there was, you and I were witness to Jasmine Crockett. She spoke about this.
Because of a brilliant question that Noah asked, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, Noah asked him to make, so Congresswoman Crockett was here in Atlanta and she spoke, and Noah asked her this amazing question that actually led her to actually give kudos to fan base for starting another platform, but really understanding that the Democratic Party takes an L. Like, they're so far behind. They don't know how to use these apps. They're not connected with the youth. They're a little bit arrogant. They're a little bit old. They're not tapped in. And these acquisitions are proof of that, because you have, like I said, you got Elon got X. There's Truth Social. Zuckerberg is now a fanboy of Trump. That's Facebook. That's Instagram. You got Oracle and Fox News and A16Z buying TikTok. You got Jeff Bezos, which has Twitch, and the Washington Post. And so you're seeing this movement to own all media. And where are the Democratic billionaires? Where is Michael Bloomberg? Where's Michael Bloomberg got like $160 billion. Like, Michael Bloomberg, see, this is the point that there needs to be a countermeasure to fund. And I hate that social media is being politicized in this way, because it's not supposed to be, because I didn't build an app to be one way or the other. That doesn't help it. I wouldn't have put it in all these countries and territories if I wanted only one type of people to use the app. But it points to a bigger problem, which is that, these people got to step their game up, because these big boys they understand, again, as I say every week, that while we think social media is a toy, it is a tool. It is the way that we will consume media. It is the way that mass media will be consumed. It is how messaging will be consumed, because we're absorbing this information in 15-second bites. We're seeing headlines, right? Growth hack, I'll give you a growth hack. I've had the most enormous growth on other social apps as soon as I turned my page into media. Mm-hmm. As soon as I started turning my page into media and telling the stories that I thought black media won't tell, or my version of the story, I'm seeing enormous growth, because that's how people are receiving their information. I get it, we want to have fun, but people are actually coming to what I have to say as a news source on all the platforms, including Fanbase, about what has to be said. So that is something that I feel like is a big problem, and that the Democrats getting their ass whooped. I'm just saying it right now. The Democrats have gotten their ass whooped. I don't know what can be done other than for these people to start to support other platforms and help scale up these other apps.
Dude, you said that so perfectly. But, just double backing off of that, I feel like we just got a series of Lex Luthors, and Superman hasn't appeared yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got another super word that I talk about, but I will not say. Oh my God. I want to say it so bad. I've said it on other podcasts, but I will not say it on this podcast. That we need another type of super. We need another type of super person to counteract this. So let me ask you this. How did right-wing conservative voices manage to capture so much ground on platforms like X, Truth Social, and particularly TikTok and ownership? Like, how do you think how they did that?
Hate. People are fueled. People people want to be comfortable in how they feel.
Mhm.
And when you have someone that is speaking to their language and making them comfortable to expose who they are, now they feel seen. And when they feel seen, now they feel like they can feel like they're heard as well. So I think fear, racism, anger, and a person's true colors allowed individuals the freedom and flexibility coupled with we know their target audience has a target on the backs of minorities.
Mhm.
So when you go into their territory to fuel their their liking,
Mhm.
that's how they feed off of each other and that's how it grows. Because when you look at how a baby grows, like a baby has to be nurtured, a baby has to be bathed and taught these things. People don't just learn it just for the hell of it. They are taught this from the inception. So some people suppress it. And after they've suppressed it for so long, and you have people from that side that brings it out of them, now it's like, shit, I can say whatever I want to. And now you have a president that makes it even more of a comfort for them to live in who they truly want to be. Which are those people?
You have been very outspoken about legal cases involving the black community. I want to talk about like what do you think? So for like the Carmelo Anthony case, what do you think the ownership of these platforms do for people like you and other social justice warriors getting their messaging out on platforms like TikTok and Instagram? What do you think these acquisitions do for your voice?
It makes it harder. It actually suppresses. And you literally have to train the time where you can put this message out to where you know your base is going to be the most active.
Mhm.
Because if you don't, then whatever you're trying to get out is not going to get out and you have to be more extreme in how you approach the conversation. You can't approach it with um in an MLK tone. You got to give them the Malcolm X because that's the only way that they're going to gravitate towards what you are really saying. The urgency and the reality of what we're dealing with is still what our ancestors dealt with.
But do you think that this actually limits your ability to you think it will limit the ability for you to bring highlight these cases? Because I asked you, remember I asked you the other day, there's a bunch of women that are being found missing in Houston.
Mhm.
Right. So my point is we don't hear about that on these social platforms. Or if they're black truck drivers that are going missing, or we've had 2 lynchings, you know what I'm saying? And
Nobody's talking about
nobody's talking about that, but we're talking about other people.
yeah.
And so are you worried that those types of issues will be suppressed? So that if that so put it like this, do you think on this is a good question. Do you think on this new version of TikTok and these other platforms like X, do you think the Black Lives Matter movement or George Floyd would have been able to flourish, or would they squash them?
They wouldn't have been able to well, they would have been able to flourish at that time because of the climate that we were in.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta look at the climate that we were in an exigent circumstance of a national or no, a world pandemic.
Yeah.
So we're at home. We have nothing else to do but to consume news, media, social media in the masses. So that ignited a community because we sat in our homes, whether we were working from home, and we watched it with our own eyes. So, it from that standpoint, because we were we were mobile in our homes,
Mm-hmm.
we had no other choice. But now that we're able to be out and free like it never happened, now we got to get even more strategic in how we are able to put out these stories so that they can reach it. And that's the responsibility of Black media. Black journalists, they have the same responsibility. And if you have the responsibility to report on everything else, You have the platform, you have the reach. Let's continue to push these stories and make sure that they are seen and heard.
But uh we've seen Joy Reid from
Mhm.
MSNBC.
Yeah.
Yep.
We just saw the writer Karen, I don't want to mispronounce her last name, but from the Washington Post.
Yep.
That was fired after 11 years. So social media is the next place they do have to turn. So now if those platforms are gone or they're controlled by people that want to silence and suppress voices, where does that leave?
Y'all better call Roland.
Yeah.
Ask him how he did it. He got the blueprint. And that's the thing, like all it takes is one of us
Mm-hmm.
to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then we have a responsibility when we see, because the one thing about the African American community, we have a fear of leaving. And that's the wrong fear to have,
Why do we have that fear?
because of that's how we were taught. That generation to work, to have a boss,
Mm-hmm.
that generation no longer was going out to sustain the household as an entrepreneur.
Right.
So when you have that and that fear and that sense of loyalty, I don't know why we have the fucking sense of loyalty that we have. Don't nobody owe you nothing. And they will get rid of you at the drop of a dime. And they don't care about your family, your responsibilities, your 401k. Baby, you are out of there. So you got to start treating these people just the way they treat you. Get in there and learn the resources, learn what you need to learn so that you can go and you can put it in something that is going to sustain you where they're not going to, because they're going to release you when you are no longer valuable. So I think that's where, when we're talking about how can we move past the comfortability of being in spaces that don't value us, then you go in and you learn their value and you go out and you collaborate, partner with your kind, just like the Black Wall Street era. We was freaking recycling everything,
Mm-hmm.
and they hated that.
Yeah.
And if we get back to that place or even an ounce of that, that is a victory.
You know, I want to shout out Ryan Wilson. He owner of the Gatherings, owner and
Yeah.
founder of the Gathering
Yes.
Spot. He said something on social media yesterday that was brilliant, and it echoes what you just said. We need to stop celebrating when we do business and partner with people who do not value the work that we do.
Say that again. Say that
We
one
need
more
to
time.
start celebrating businesses when we partner and collaborate that don't value what we do.
So that means, like, for instance, well, I'm not going to do that because then I'll be messy.
Well, I have a good example.
Okay.
Black Men Smile. Carlton,
Mhm.
based out of here in Atlanta. He was featured in Target's Black History Month collection,
Mhm.
right? When everything went down with Target, no new discussion. He cut it off, right? That's a great example
Yeah.
of someone who saw an organization that did not put value in what he did, and he ended it.
So how do we, like, because that conversation has come up a few times in the past year. I remember actually even recently, Ryan and Wallow had an exchange because Wallow was like, your business being Black is not enough to patronize your business.
Man, if you don't,
And I think, I think from the perspective of his perspective, I think people don't see the inequity that Black businesses start under. We're underfunded, we're undervalued, we're understaffed, right?
Yeah.
And so how can you hold, and I don't, again, when people hold fan base to the standard of a TikTok or Instagram, I actually think that's a compliment, because you're talking about a company that has raised a significant amount of money in fan base, but you're talking about other companies that are worth hundreds of billions of dollars. So you're saying, if you can look, and I'll say this to anybody that download the app. If you can say that between the what you experience on fan base is even 60% of what you experience on Instagram or TikTok, or it looks remotely close or similar, please understand that you're looking at a platform that's raised $23 million, which again is a lot of money, but in terms of building and scaling a product is not, to companies that have raised hundreds of millions of dollars. And we're here and we're still building and growing. So what do you think, if we had $300 million, what would we do?
Insane.
You know what I'm saying? What that would be like? Well, Noah would definitely get paid more.
Oh man,
And he love that.
I'd be on a yacht. You know what I'm
You would
saying?
not be on a yacht.
I'd be working remotely.
You wouldn't. Okay,
Hey,
first of
Isaac,
all,
what do you need, sir?
$300 million is not enough for.
He gonna be on a mini boat,
You gonna
and he have to
you gonna be on a
build
canoe
himself.
on the
Yeah.
Chattahoochee River.
You know what? That's
And
fine
it's
too.
gonna be the
You're, a
same
yacht,
way.
300 raising $300 million is not enough to get you on a yacht. It's not enough to get me on a yacht. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, no,
Now,
one of those, those party boats. How about that?
yeah, you can be on Lake Lanier with a party boat.
Exactly.
Hold on, we may
I'll
not
get-
get you back. Don't go
No, we all right.
there.
No, you be all right on Lake Lanier. You be cool, but Oscar be grabbing the people they know to grab.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
I think the conversation we have these conversations all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's about actually who's the doers. You are a doer.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm a doer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of getting those actual doers.
I mean, I understand that, but we also look. Support is a verb, as Dr. Key Hallman would eloquently say. Support is a verb. The action of downloading fan base, the action of buying your book, the action of using platforms like Spill and Spoutable, the action of joining communities like the Gathering Spot. Like, again, this is going to force us to work together whether we want to or not. These are times where it's like, look, I know we ain't gonna have no choice, because when TikTok turned into, TikTok with 3 Ks, you know what I'm saying? When it's TikTok, KKK at the end of it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're gonna need some new platforms.
But I want to take that one step further. It's
Mhm.
also taking the time to learn these new platforms.
Oh, yes.
To learn fan base, to learn Spill, putting in the same effort that you put in to learn TikTok and Instagram. That's a big part of it too.
And that's why I said the creators have the perfect opportunity right now to come in and learn it and make money off of teaching people how to actually navigate and how to win on a fan base. Because here's my thing. When I came onto fan base, I didn't start off with no followers. But it's when I started my room that the growth went from 0 to 100. And I'm like, I would check my account, like, who are these people? Why are they following me? But now I understand when you have something that is valuable to them, they're going to come and they're going to be looking for you and they're going to want to hear from you, because now you have built up a sense of trust that they can come in and say, oh, I know if I go here, they're going to keep it real. They going to tell me how it is. So I think it's a matter not only learning, but coming in and being authentic, because we're in a season of authenticity like never before. We went through the fake phase back in the plastics back 2015, 2022. But now it's back to the authenticity, and you do have to learn these platforms. And I think people think that, I'm on too many different platforms. No, you're not. You're not on the right platform if you think you're on too many platforms.